207 to 170. Then this man, Berardi, defeated Roth. Joe shooting a 212. First shot. Semifinal match. Again a 10.
The solid 10 is Joe Berardi grabs his breath. He's very, very tough when he gets one match under his belt, and so Pete Weber will have his hands full. And Joe wanted me to mention that he gives credit to a fellow named Joe Manfredi, who convinced him not to retire this year and stay out a few more years, and I'm sure that Berardi has a lot of good years left in him.
Joe's shot was clocked at 23 miles an hour. Here we get our first look today. Under the stress and tension of competition, Pete Weber, right lane. Oh, robbed.
Once again, a solid 10, and as we did not expect a lot of spares to shoot at today, low scoring, and once again, match play competition. The players have to adjust, a lot of cash at stake.
And the youngest ever to win 10 titles, Pete Weber marks to the spare in the very first round. He is the defending Firestone champion, coming from 5th to 1st.
The classic profile of Pete Weber, the very high backswing, almost perpendicular to the approach zone. This is where that ectomorphic body of his drive gets all that momentum, so let that wrist snap through and through one of the great strike balls in the game.
Oh, how do you spell that?
I know you know, but it's ECTOMORPHIC. Boom.
That's Professor Bo right here. And Pete Weber leaving a 4-pin on the left lane. A reminder, the winner will meet Walter Ray Williams Jr. This will be hard-earned, the victory today, Nelson.
That's for sure. Match game competition.
Okay, 2 spares for Weber. Berardi has one up. Now shooting in the second frame, and our statistician, Palmer Falgren, who had a great shot, got robbed last night in the finals, finished 8th. Next week, Palmer. A 6.
Mark Roth just stopped by the booth. I says, Mark, what's happening out there in 13 and 14? He says, before we went on the air, 13 hooked a lot and 14 was slick. What has happened in the last 45 minutes is lane 14 has started to hook, and 13 hasn't. So actually, both lanes are pretty much the same now. It's up to the players to adjust.
Okay, match all even after 2 frames. The semifinal, Berardi and Weber.
Joe Berardi, who won a regional term at the age of 18. The PBA has 7 regions that lets the younger player break in and get some experience before he tries the big tour. Also did some early exhibitions. I had the good fortune of having him go with me to a number of exhibitions at a young age, and you could foresee the talent that was going to come out here in the tour. Now, Berardi even, 3rd frame.
Talking to himself. These are young men you'd love to have as next-door neighbors, believe me. They are just delightful people. And that's why I've enjoyed being around them for 27 years.
Pete Weber, fingertip grip, stretched out span, balances that ball in the palm of his hand, cocks that wrist to the top of the swing. Needs a strike to stay even in a match.
Part of the house, huh?
You're right. Solid 8. The ball just drives right through this zone. And watch this 5-pin chop the 8-pin right off the 8-pin. Unusual shot as Pete's quickly up on the approach.
Pete Weber, a symphony in blue and green. Great combination. We asked him earlier about his 300-game record.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I do have 27 300 sanctioned by the ABC, and if this week was sanctioned, I'll have 28, so I think I'll be just 1 down on him. And watch out, Elvin, I'm coming after you.
Pete Weber, who had a 300 during the week, as did Walter Ray Williams and Mark Williams.
Elvin Metzger is the man that holds the record. A good bowling teammate of mine from the St. Louis area.
High hitting again, a 3.610. We have seen that leave so often today.
Well, you can tell by their faces, Chris, that the professional bowlers, if they know where to roll that ball and at what speed to roll it, they'll throw it in the pocket. Weber figured he could give it some room, throw it a little harder, and it would sit out there wide. It didn't. Once again, he cuts high and has a tough spare.
Okay, we're in our semi-final match, and a very close one with Berardi leading by 4. We'll be back. Next to Arch Rizal on the left is Brent Snelson, manager of advertising and sales promotion, a look-alike. My pal, Senator Dan Quayle of Indiana. Boy, they look like twins. Brent Snelson from Detroit.
And all these AC Delco people are such great bowling fans. They were discussing the tournament finish last week by Amleto Monicelli from Las Vegas. And here they are live from the Gable House in Torrance, California. Now, here's Joe Berardi. 1 win under his belt, leads by 4 pin, has a strike up. And the third can extend to 14 with a strike in the fourth.
Lovely double for Joe Berardi.
Berardi using 18 miles an hour, Chris, a little bit faster than the other players, and his opponent, Pete Weber, going about 16. And historically, 18 miles an hour is the winning speed. I remember when we first started using the jugs gun, more or less, 18 was the winning speed. So if Berardi can maintain that speed, keep his accuracy and rhythm, and of course play the lanes meticulously close, he's going to be very tough to beat.
His last singles win was in the 83 Firestone. He was born there, so he'll take it.
A little deja vu, Chris. You mentioned the 83 Firestone. That was the key shot for Joe Berardi. There's an old saying in bowling, when you cross over, it's a Brooklyn, but he had so many in that particular tournament, he was calling it a Berardi when he crossed over, so we'll resurrect that and call it a Berardi. He gets a fortuitous strike in the 5th frame and leads by 24 pins.
World's Cup downhill skiing, where they reach speeds of 60+ miles per hour. Wow. Pete Weber with a lazy strike in the 5th frame. Wide World follows us. Men's World Cup Downhill Championship. Prelude to the Calgary Olympic Games that'll be here on ABC.
The key pins. Watch Weber with that powerful ball. The 1 hits the 3. The 5 just ripped over towards the 7 pin. The 6 chops out the 10. See you later. Weber has his first strike in the 5th frame. Chris, but he looks like he's really bowling well. I saw him a couple of times last year where he just didn't look sharp in the championship round. He looks real sharp today. If he can figure out this left-hand lane, he'll give Berardi a run for the money.
Touch of his dad, Dick Weber, in that shot. And running it out, giving it the intensity of a champion.
Pete knows this is good, needs this one to stay close in the match. Not only do the pins feel that reaction, but Joe Berardi will feel it too. Let's see how he answers the challenge of Pete Weber. Only 14 pins separate the players, 6th frame.
3 in a row. Oh, no. 4 in a row for Joe Berardi.
Berardi gets a great break. Watch the action of the head pin. It goes to sideboard, comes out and takes the 4, 5, and 7 pins out. Berardi maintained that 18 miles an hour, got another terrific break. Boom, avoids the split and extends his lead to 24. He has 4 strikes in a row. Coming up, 7th frame.
Semifinal match, the winner to meet Walter Ray Williams. A 2-pin on the left lane. Joe was sort of replaying his arm swing as he came back from the line.
Right, Chris. He was a little bit unhappy with the swing and has to be kind of happy with the result. He avoids the split, leaves the 3-pin standing, a very simple spare. He'll lead the match by 23.
right, now Pete Weber with the double up, shooting in the 7th frame. 130 pounds of intensity. I'd like to own a thoroughbred horse that had his desire and intensity. You'd win a lot of races.
That's for sure. Just like his daddy. The wiry Pete Weber can cut the lead of Berardi's down to 13 with this strike.
A 4. What was that, a little high, Bo?
Yes, it was, Chris. He tried to just overpower the pins as you picked up. He raised up at the line, getting a little too much lift on the ball. Snaps through, leaves the 4-pin as he quickly is up cross lane to convert the spare.
Meanwhile, our tournament leader, Walter Ray Williams, in his 3rd consecutive television appearance, continues to practice off to the right.
Pete Weber, who has rolled his 27th 300 game, and hopefully this one he got this week would be sanctioned, and that means that the American Bowling Congress would come in and check the lanes. That would be his 28th. He said Elvin Metzger has a record of 29. Peter started very early with 300s. Age of 12, he rolled his first sanctioned 300. As you see our tournament leader warming up in the sidelines, waiting to see who will challenge him for the title.
Pete Weber on the left lane.
No doubt about this one.
Now Berardi. Joe getting some nice end results here in his 2nd game of the afternoon.
Watch Berardi as he hits the 1-3, slices out the 5, and tomahawks that 10 with that 6-pin. A great power strike answering Weber's challenge. He knew he got a break on that 10, but that's why he has so much power on the ball. You develop your own breaks. Now here's a key shot in the match. He can put Weber on the ropes if he strikes. If he doesn't, the match is up for grabs.
His most powerful strike of the afternoon.
He picked up the speed. He threw it hard right towards the pocket. Took a lesson from Lamletto Monticelli's victory last week in Vegas. Just throws a rocket dead at the 1-3. He puts the pressure on Weber. Weber must strike 9th frame to stay in the match.
We've seen him do that before. Strong in the clutch.
The prospects for Pete Weber as he comes up here in the 10th frame. 3 more strikes, he would finish with a 2:34 game. Berardi working at a 2:38 pace. So if Weber can get at least 1 strike and possibly 2 here in the 10th and 11th frames, he'll put the pressure on Berardi. Otherwise, it'll be Berardi and Walter Ray Williams Jr. for the title.
Four 7-10 for Pete Weber.
Pete quickly up on the approach is just going to shoot for the 4-7. He knows it's all over. Finishes with a 199 game. Berardi in the driver's seat. We're going to see a final match. Joe Berardi, the father-to-be of twins, going against the hottest man in professional bowling in the past 2 years, Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Look at that. 3-bagger. The